My name's Jim Moran, and thanks very much for joining us for ISO 45001, Clause 5, Leadership. You can reach me at jim at simplifyiso.com or over here at the Simplify ISO site with this handy contact button. Many of you are aware of the clauses in ISO 9001, and they line up perfectly with ISO 45001. They're all built on the high-level structure. Clause 5 has a number of requirements for leadership to show its commitment. This diagram in ISO 45001 shows leadership at the center of the management system, right where it should be. This is true of all the high-level standards. Leadership's right in the middle, and leadership sets the tone for the entire management system. So let's run through top management's requirements to demonstrate commitment. First of all, you'll see a requirement that top management take accountability and responsibility for the prevention of work-related injury and ill health, and for providing safe and healthy workplaces and activities. Next, top management has to ensure that the policy and objectives are established and compatible with the direction of the organization. Then ensure that the integration of the management system requirements has been made into the organization's business processes. That is to say, weaving all the requirements of ISO 45001 into the way you do business, into your management system. You'll see a requirement there for top management to provide the resources needed to implement, maintain, improve the system. Top management has to communicate the importance of having an effective health and safety management system and the requirement or the value in conforming to those requirements. Make sure that the OH&S management system achieves its intended outcomes, and top management has to direct and support everyone to contribute to the effectiveness of the management system. Of course, continual improvement is part of that, and then management needs to support other relevant management roles to demonstrate their leadership in their areas of responsibility. It's important that top management develop, lead, and promote a culture that supports the intended outcomes of the OHS system. And there are three more requirements in Clause 5.1 for worker participation. You'll see a requirement for protecting workers from reprisals when reporting incidents, hazards, risks, and opportunities. You'll see another requirement for ensuring that the organization establishes and implements a process for consultation and participation of workers, not just a few forms, but an actual process. And finally, in Clause 5.1, you'll see that top management, in order to demonstrate commitment, has to support the establishment and functioning of health and safety committees. So whatever your local governments require, your provincial or state governments require, your occupational health and safety management system needs to embrace those and make sure they're operating properly. Clause 5.2 in the standard has a requirement for an occupational health and safety policy. You'll see many of the same things that you see in environmental, quality, information security, all the other standard requirements, with extra requirements for involvement of workers. Clause 5.3 has the typical organizational structure requirements with a few extra specifics related to health and safety personnel. And finally, in 5.4, you'll see a number of requirements for consultation and participation of workers. This particular clause is extremely important to give you all the requirements that you'll want and need in order to have a very successful occupational health and safety management system. And remember that the success of your occupational health and safety management system is going to depend in large part on the participation of workers and how well it's designed. A management system won't make health and safety happen. People make health and safety happen. This will include things like providing mechanisms, time, training, resources necessary for consultation, any access to relevant information for consultation, removing obstacles or barriers to participation, and making sure that you emphasize the consultation of non-managerial workers on things like determining needs and expectations, establishing the policy, designing roles and responsibilities, determining how to fulfill legal requirements. Another area in this section is the emphasis on participation of non-managerial workers in the mechanisms for the actual consultation that you'll be doing with them. So it's important that you take into account all the requirements in addition to ISO 9001 or 14001 requirements for consultation of workers. By all means, slide over to our website and we'd be happy to arrange for a demo of our software to see if there might be some features in here that could help you manage your occupational health and safety program much more easily. It's important that you have a program that's working so that your workers can participate. We have forms for that in our platform, and we have ways of recording incidents that will meet the requirements for your occupational health and safety regulatory bodies, as well as make it easy for you to communicate all the results with the entire organization. Thanks very much for having a look, and I hope you have time to join us next time for Clause 6, Planning. Bye for now.